Hello and welcome back. If you're new, hello, welcome. Feel free to click the little bell below, get all the notifications. Once you're subscribed, obviously. So today we are here to talk all about the Jane Iredale Amazing Base Loose Mineral Powder Foundation. Now I've done a little video of me applying it so you can see the before and after. I have been trying this out for quite a few weeks. I got it at an event and I'm really pleased I picked this one actually. I needed a nice foundation that I can use that's free of all the gunky things to help my face look nice. Don't we agree it looks quite nice? Yes, excellent. So let's talk a bit about what's on the website and then we can see if we agree or disagree. It provides sheer to medium coverage, made from micronized minerals, free from synthetic chemicals, oil-free and weightless. It's a foundation, powder, concealer and broad spectrum sunscreen with SPF 20, UVB and UV. It's water resistant to 40 minutes. Conceals redness, diffuses appearance of fine lines and pores with soft focus effect. So it also comes with cool, warm and neutral shades. So there should be some for everybody. Now just a wee comment on the shades. From what I can see on their website, there is a decent-ish range, but I don't believe they necessarily go all the way dark. So they've got quite light shades for the likes of myself, but they could possibly expand into the darker shades range. So that's just something to be aware of. Now, let's tick off the list, shall we? So in regards to sheer to medium coverage, yes, as you can see on initial application, it definitely provides sheer coverage without a doubt, and you can build it up to medium coverage. So you have to apply it with a flat foundation brush. This is because the minerals, you want to think of it like fish scales, but in a nice way, maybe mermaid scales. So they all want to go in one direction, unlike the likes of Bare Mineral powder foundations where it's a swirl top buff. You know, you swirl it onto your skin. This is much more of a that kind of foundation. And it does, like I said, give a nice sheer finish. You can build it up slightly, so I have gone in again with this brush and you can see where I built it up a wee bit here and there. And then if I want to use it as a concealer, I use a small dense brush. This is a concealer brush and this comes from Bare Minerals. I've had it for years. But it's a nice dense flat brush and I use this just on my spots. I have two on my chin, so I thought now was a good time to show you how good the coverage is. But I did a really good job of, well, it did a really good job of covering those two blemishes. This one in particular is a bit of a pain in the rear because it is slightly crusty. Delightful. But I think it does a really nice job of just clearing that up a bit without drawing attention to it, you know, rather than looking cakey, etc. So there is a wee bit of clinging, but not a massive amount. You're gonna get that with any kind of foundation or concealer when it's one of those kind of spots really. But it's not in your face, which is really good. This other one, less clingy because, you know, not crusty, hooray. But I think it does a really good job of just cleaning that up and just toning it right down. So I think it does a really good job. I've said that repeatedly. It does really well at calming all the redness down and just taking attention away from those spots, which is wonderful. I've also used it underneath my eyes because I just have a lot of blueness there. It's becoming more obvious as I get older, so that's a wee bit frustrating. But I think this does a really, really nice job of, in this corner, in the corners of my eye, toning that down and brightening the area so it's not, I don't look tired. It does a really nice job of just making me look nice and human and awake and full of all of the joys. So I really like it for that. I also like that it's not such a full coverage that you can't see the freckles on my face or, you know, the general colour of my face. It doesn't sort of blank everything out, which I quite like. Something I'm enjoying more the older I get, to be honest. There is a bit of pigmentation on my forehead, so that's why I've gone in with a little brush there to tone that down just a wee touch more. The annoying thing is I've got pigmentation, but then I have a load of freckles that are coming through on top of it. So I've got freckle and pigmentation together to make it really dark. But that pigmentation is always there, but there's quite a few freckles appearing on top and they'll come out of my nose and my cheeks and things. So I quite like that, it's quite nice. I also use it a wee bit on my chin because, well, my chin is always a bit red. Am I the only person that has that? And I also add a bit more coverage on my nose as well. So all in all, I quite like the coverage. Now I could go a bit more ham on the concealer front and any kind of redness, I could cover it up. Like I have some issues along my jaw where I've got blemishes that are healing, but to be honest, I'm not that concerned. So definitely up to a medium coverage. I'm not sure you would get a full coverage out of this, but it doesn't claim that you can. But just to be aware, it's not a full coverage. If you want, you could try building it up a wee touch more. I would recommend layering on a spray of some sort. This is a hydrating spray from Jane Iredale. It's the lemongrass love, and it's lovely, by the way, just as an aside. I adore the smell of this. Also, tied to positive happy thoughts, the lemongrass and everything is good to lift your mood. Random thought. But they also have another spray, D20. So if you're going for more full coverage, you could spray that on and go back in with the Amazing Base and layer it up a bit more. Just be aware that you should be applying everything in the same direction, so you don't get you don't disturb the minerals, basically. So in regards to coverage, really pleased. In regards to the whole synthetic free, oil free, weightless, it does feel really weightless on your skin. You can't feel that you're wearing foundation, which is a winning combination really. The fact that it's weightless and it doesn't have any oils in there, for some of us that are slightly oilier in the summer, especially in this heat, people, it's a winning moment. I would say it doesn't last obviously all day in this kind of heat, so just be aware of that. You have to apply a bit of common sense here. So it'll last for a good few hours, but it's not going to last all day. In normal weather for the UK, so slightly cooler temperatures, it will last really well throughout the day. What you can do is just touch up. Bring your foundation with you if you're going to work, and if you feel the need to touch up, blot your face, you know, take off that excess oil and then touch up, which I think is really good with this kind of foundation. You can just touch it up because it sets back down again. I don't use a setting powder when I use this foundation. You don't need one. I do obviously go over it with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting powder, but that's quite a light coverage and it's just to add that extra little bit of glow. But I don't set it down with any other normal setting powder, for example, that I would use if I was using liquid foundation. This doesn't cause any irritation. These blemishes are for me just constantly topping up my sunscreen all of the time and using any sunscreen that comes to hand. I'm not that fussy. I should obviously be more aware of what sunscreen I put on my face and what I put on my body, but if it's hot out, I'm just going to cover my face. So my skin doesn't always like it, and I need to get better at double cleansing when I've just been wearing this. Something I tend to forget. I do it when I'm wearing makeup, but I don't always do it when I'm wearing sunscreen. Bad habits, bad habits. In regards to concealing redness, I think it does a really good job, as I talked about with my spots and under eyes. I think it does well on that front. In regards to fine lines, I don't know that any foundation makes fine lines look fabulous. Like, I've got fine lines around my eyes and slightly underneath. I think maybe it helps blur a wee bit, but it's not, you know, they're not gone. The pores and soft focus finish effect. So let me zoom you in. As you can see here, so I would have quite large pores on my cheeks and on my nose. I think it does a good enough job actually at covering those up. To be honest, I think it does really well. So I am quite pleased about that sort of soft focus without clinging to them and making them look really obvious. Now, would I recommend picking it up? It is £38 and you get 10.5 milligrams. I would, to be honest. It sounds expensive. However, you don't waste as much product. You tap out into your lid and you apply it. If there's any powder left over, you tip it back in, so you're not losing any of the foundation. Unlike a liquid foundation, you put it in the back of your hand and then you're like, oh, I've got too much squeezed out and I don't know what to do with it. Ends up in a tissue and it ends up in the bin. This, I really like it. There are no bad things in there to help, you know, cause irritation or anything. So I'm much more aware that I want to use clean makeup on my face to prevent any nasties getting in there, because we all wear makeup a lot of the time. We don't want to have our face sucking in all the bad chemicals and stuff. So I really like it. I do recommend picking it up. I don't really have a bad word to say about it, to be honest. I really enjoy it and I have been wearing it quite a bit of late. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If there's anything else you would like to know, feel free to ask. Thanks a million for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please tell all of your friends, and I'll see you in the next video.